So, friends, Donald Trump just tried to convince us that he understands the financial challenges the American people face. And to convince us of that fact, what does he do? He stands in front of his members-only Bedminster Golf Club, which most Americans could never afford to join, and he tells us, seriously, I'm not making this up, he tells us he's going to, quote, take a box of Cheerios back to his cottage and, quote, have some fun. Friends, Donald Trump is an imbecile. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, as you may know, if you watch my Daily Justice Matters videos, I usually don't talk about the random and rambling nonsense that tumbles out of Donald Trump's mouth at his rallies. But today has been a slow news day on the legal front. So here goes. Let's start with some reporting by the Washington Post. Donald Trump's comfort food campaign. That article begins, to put it in terms Donald Trump would appreciate, on Thursday, Trump gave himself a mulligan. Now, friends, full disclosure, I'm not a golf guy. I grew up playing stoop ball, stick ball, kick the can. I never did get around to playing golf, but a mulligan, in golf terms, I am told, is when you do a do-over. You know, you make a lousy shot, you want to try again, so you take a mulligan. You get to do it over. The article continues. The afternoon before, he, Trump, was in North Carolina to present what was billed as a speech delineating his economic policies. As he got underway, he even told the raucous crowd that we're doing this as an intellectual speech. But with the cheering crowd rooting him on, the speech quickly devolved into Trump's familiar rhetorical stew. He read some prepared comments from the teleprompter and then wandered off into the stuff he really enjoyed talking about. By the end, it was just a regular rally with a few more lines about inflation than you might normally hear. So, the do-over. On Thursday morning, Trump's campaign announced a news conference to be held in New Jersey, one that would allow the candidate to present his economic proposals in a sober, direct context to the press, the only people, in Trump's estimation, who really care. And once again, he started off reading policy talking points, this time from a sheaf of paper, his voice monotonous and uninterested. But there were some Trump fans there too, and after spending slightly longer on the policy than he had in North Carolina, he soon returned to his standard campaign patter. The shift in his enjoyment of the presentation was visible. He spoke with more energy and engaged with the audience, talking about things he likes to talk about. How bad Democrats are, how dangerous immigrants are, how deadly wind turbines are to birds. He's animated and passionate. The problem? Well, the first problem was that it was set up outside of Trump's Bedminster golf course, a facility that doesn't exactly convey a sense of communion with the working man. There was a table of breakfast cereals and fruit and instant coffee, but they all looked, probably for good reason, like the varieties of those products used in hotel buffets. Meanwhile, the brick and column facade of Bedminster loomed in the background. Louis XIV stepping out of Versailles to commiserate with the peasants. And then this from Trump, quote, "They did a nice job with the display," he said of the unnamed staffers who'd presented him with the props. He then spotted something familiar. Quote, "I haven't seen Cheerios in a long time." But friends, we're not done with Cheerios. Let's jump over to Vanity Fair. Headline, "Does anyone know what Donald Trump is talking about anymore? Hannibal Lecter? Cheerios? Bird cemeteries?" And that article reads, in part, quoting Donald Trump as he stood in front of his exclusive golf club holding a box of Cheerios. Quote, "I haven't seen Cheerios in a long time," he remarked at another point, saying he wanted to, quote, "take some of them back to his cottage and have a lot of fun," close quote. Okay, let's just stop there for a minute, friends. Donald Trump is at a press conference that he has called to unveil and present his economic policies, and it devolves into him talking about playing with Cheerios in his cottage at his pricey New Jersey golf club. He really is just an everyman, an everywoman, in touch with the struggles and the challenges of the American people. And to further drive that point home, his relatability to us, there's this from The Guardian. Headline, "Trump reveals he made $300,000 selling Bibles and has big cryptocurrency stash." And that article begins, "Donald Trump made hundreds of thousands from his branded Bible and millions from his properties. He also owns millions in cryptocurrency and has a six-figure investment in gold bars." He's just an average Joe or an average Jane. I mean, friends, who among us hasn't taken our box of Cheerios, which we haven't seen in a long time, back to our cottage at our pricey golf club to have some fun? And while we're there, maybe we leaf through our financial statements to see how our multi-millions in cryptocurrency is doing, and then maybe finish up the evening by recounting our gold bars. Friends, on November 5th, can we vote this guy back to the Stone Age, thereby turning him over to the prosecutors and the courts where he belongs? Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.